Here we have heat one of the men's 3,000 meter run.
Seated first, Paul Molinier. Seated second from Battle Road, Aaron Lucci. Seated third from Battle Road, Lucas Estrada. Seated fourth, Felix Quiron. Seated fifth, Michael Credon. Seated sixth, Jacob Ella. Seated sixth, seated seventh, Joseph Smith. Seated eighth, Francis Cusick. Seated ninth, Richard Federico. Seated 10th, Bill Newsham. Seated 11th, Matthew Morey. And seated 12th, Derek Marshall.
An interesting thing about this race is Francis Cusick is the meet director.
And this is the...
And I do not think he is in this race, though.
Men's 3,000.
I think he put himself in as a test entry.
Good start from the field here as they're all bunched up.
And as this race starts off, we have Dan McSalla actually along with us in the
yeah, I was told to come up
taping. Yeah, so Dan McSalla won the 1,500 meters. And a nice kick.
Stunning kick.
I heard it was stunning. That's what everyone kept telling me.
Yeah.
So, Dan, talk us through your race a little bit. What did you see out there today?
I saw a lot of feet in front of me pacing. Jake Johns, shout out to Jake Johns, and Caleb something, I forget his last name. He ran the 800. Huge help from those guys to get the ball rolling. But yeah, I just saw great track and feet.
Our leader, who we haven't identified yet, right about
went after
70 seconds.
We had the final lap to go. Just got the arms pumping. Jacob Ellis, I believe his name was, who came up on my shoulder.
Yeah. He passed you for about only like 50 or 100 meters. Were you waiting for him to make a move? Or
yeah, it was definitely waiting just for him.
You wanted to know where he was? Was that the...
I could see, I heard his footsteps in his breath. And then when he made the move, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with him and then throw the hammer down.
It was a decent move from him, but it wasn't extraordinarily. And then you threw down the hammer and really pulled away from him.
Yeah.
Followed by Michael Creedon.
Yeah,
that is your top
he made the move, but he really didn't accelerate too much. When he got around me, he just kind of sat there. I remember my college coach once told me, like, if you're going to make a move, make it decisive. So I was like, all right, I'll just sit on the same pace I was running. And then, but shout out to him, because when I tried to go around him, he responded really well, and he made me work for it.
Right.
The last 150.
He might have gone a little bit too early.
He went too early, yeah. Well, maybe it was good, early enough for him, but it was too early to let me.
Yeah. Maybe he might have thought you were more tired, and that he didn't realize you had a little bit of gas
to be
in the
honest,
tank.
I felt more tired than I showed.
It was a great race for me, though.
It was a good rust buster.
It was about 2:20
ready to get rolling.
through 800 meters.
I have to go get ready for the 5K.
For our leaders.
Aaron Lucci.
All right.
Again, that is a 70
well, good job
lap.
today. Good luck in the 5K.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for the help too. You guys doing
We're
great.
about to go through a kilometer.
We have a pack of 4 here.
Let's go, Ron!
Which is a third of the way.
This 3K could be very interesting. We have a lot of guys very similar times, very competitive.
And Molinier looks like he is not thrilled with the pace, perhaps.
We need to get more guest interviews from the field.
And he's picked it up just a little bit, because at 2:54.
Try to get some of the competitors and other events to come up.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Looks like we have one competitor
pulling away
from this chase pack.
There's a chase pack of 3 right behind them, though, and they're still working hard. There's still a lot of race to go, so it's the first real move made. But I don't know that he's out of the woods.
Yeah, it's still pretty early. They're only about a third of the way through the race.
$3:28, $3:29 from Molinier, who has established a gap between himself and the 3 other runners that were with him earlier from the start.
Is seated first in the men's 3K, but not by that much. He has a very similar seed time to those 2 through 4, so I would expect that the chase pack tries to close him down a little bit.
And the paces that they're... It is not zooming out for me for some reason. I apologize to the viewers. But the pace they're running, I believe, they're running about just under 70 per lap, which 70s would put them at like 8:45 for the 3K. They're seated, I think, closer to 8:30. So that explains why we have our lead runner pulling ahead right now.
All right, I believe we have Molinier halfway, 4 minutes 19, 8:38 pace. Here we go, coming up to 4 laps, 1,600 meters. Sort of a mile. 439, 438, 439.
Looks like bigger gaps are starting to
And
open up
he has
now.
blown that chase group apart. The other three that were running with him earlier.
But it's still not a uncashable gap.
No, it's
Still,
not.
well, still over a couple laps to go here. So they can respond with some very strong laps of their own. Anyone can still win this race, but Paul Molinier looking very strong out in front, very consistent. But second place also looks very strong as well, as he's also distanced himself from third and fourth.
Less than 3 laps to
Aaron
go for the
Lucci
leader, who
is
continues to
in
be Paul
fourth
Molinier.
place, looking strong, but falling off the pack a little bit. It's a very strung out field after being very tightly bunched for the first couple laps.
Yeah. We have that our guy in front really pushed the pace to string it out.
Yeah, it really shows that today people are really just going for their best times rather
All
than
right, 2K,
kind of being a little bit conservative.
550, just over 550.
Yeah, we
That
said it
is
before.
8:45 pace again.
I wonder how much
Doing it all by
the
himself.
weather being a lot cooler than was expected is leading the runners to really be like, oh, well, I should really go for that fast time today.
Yeah, it really has turned into a beautiful night and pretty ideal conditions for this type of mid-distance race.
Yeah, and very, very little wind, if any.
And really not too humid either.
Yeah, not very humid. It's a little.
Here they come,
It might
2
be a
to
little
go.
warm for some of the longer
Molinier,
races, but it's still maybe
Curiel,
70 degrees out. But,
Frieden,
with the sun down, it's
Lucci.
not too hot.
Aaron Lucci still the only close contact to this top three. We'll see if he can try to chase down third place, but it's still Paul Molinier out in front, as the gap is now about 25 meters to second place, and then another 15 meters to third place.
.600 to go. Still trying to hold to that 70-second pace.
Lap
this
and a
is-
half.
Is this really where, if you have anything, you should try to push, or do you wait a little later?
Oh, I think you start pushing all out right now. If you're trying to win a race, you maybe sit and kick a little bit longer. But if you're trying to go for a time, you're going, you're stringing that out as long as you can this end of the race.
Approaching the bell, and he's led pretty much from the start. Paul Molinier. 7.
And you get that
37.
adrenaline boost at the bell.
Could run 8:45. Got to dig deep. He's from Sherbrooke. Curiel from Sherbrooke. Creedon from Greater Boston. Lucci from Battle Road.
Battle Road still has their hero and Aaron Lucci in fourth place. But it looks like Paul Molinier is going to run away with first place here as he laps another competitor. Paul Molinier just reaching 8:11 as he crosses 2,800, 200 to go. Can run about 8:45 as long as he has a solid last 200 here. Should be a
Coming
great time,
off the final turn. Whoops.
especially for this early in the season.
Last 100 meters
It looks very
for
strong.
Paul Molinier.
Really has it's
You're-
really been a
you're a
flawless
winner.
run from Paul Molinier today. He's only picking up the pace here. He'll finish under 8:45 at
8
8:43.
minutes 43 and change.
And
He
then here
takes
comes
it.
second and third,
Felix Curion,
not too far
also
behind,
from Sherbrooke.
but never really close
Coming
to
down from
challenging.
Quebec to
8:50,
join us. 8
8:51,
minutes 50 unofficially. Creedon
8:53 for third
close
place,
behind,
and here comes
Aaron
Aaron
Lucci
Lucci
from
for
Battle
fourth
Road.
place.
And the rest of the
Great
field
run
behind
from
them.
Aaron, but it's going to be just over 9 minutes for this one. 9:03 unofficially. finished strong here. Another competitor just over 10 minutes. Great run from him. Couple competitors left on the track.
All right, folks, there is one event remaining in tonight's program as we watch the men's 3,000 meters wrap up in front of us. That is the 5,000 combined, and it will go off at 9:05 or closely thereabouts. And our start lists have 9 men and 6 women. And not one of them has a seed time. So we'll see how that unfolds. Matthew Morey doubling back from the 400-meter hurdles earlier in the day.
Great finish from him. And one more competitor on the track with men's 3,000 meters as our camera gets overtaken by various bugs.
I'm waiting for a bug to just crawl on top of the forward lens.
Yeah, the one almost did. It was on the outside of the lens, but luckily I don't think it made it to this. That wraps up our 3,000 meters.
Alright, it's not... Oh wait, whoops, are we still on? Wait, how do I...
What? No, you're good.
No, it's still recording.